Hello everybody, itsDair here and welcome to itsDair Rewind 2019. It is only, well, not quite sure when this video goes up, but it's gonna be about 2 weeks late. I'm recording this before the Dark Let's Play, but why don't we just continue by looking at the past year, seeing some of the cool videos that I made. I think I've done a lot of cool videos. I hope you do too. I want to go through some of the cooler ones and explain to you what happened in the thought process, just like every year. We've done this twice, so this is a tradition now. I'm pretty sure this is the tradition. Anyway, the first video of 2018. Well, not 2018, but of the second year. No. The third year. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. It's been so long since I've been in front of the camera. The first video of the third year of our channel was Danish Championship in Game Development #1. Why don't we just have a look at it? And I'm just gonna turn the music down, because it's just me talking. Why don't we find some gameplay actually? Block Wars was the first one. So, why was this a cool video of the past year? Well, for once it was the first video on my channel after the rewind. So it was the first in the new year, and it got uploaded on the 16th of August, which I also think the second video did, or maybe that was the day after, I don't remember. Anyway, it was my first job. I got hired. It was my first hired job in a YouTube capacity. I got hired for two things in connection with the Starcade Festival of Aalborg, the big gaming festival we have in Aalborg. And one of them was to play and make Let's Play videos of Danish Championship in Game Development, of the entries thereof. And this is the first video of that. I think there was some super cool games. I remember Blocklings. This game was very impressive. I mean, I spent a lot of time on this puzzle game, trying to get as far as I could in a reasonable amount of time, because I think I had 15 or 16 games that I needed to go through before the actual Starcade Festival, where Danish Championship in Game Development was held. There were 3 different categories. You had Teens, Free for All, and Theme. The theme was Environmental Impact, which is the second video is reserved. Well, somehow this video, or these 2 videos, the entries are in alphabetical order, and somehow all of them happen to be, all of the environmental ones happen to be in the latter, which was pretty weird. I'm not really sure how that happened. What else do we have there? I remember Bullet's Mansion had a really cool soundtrack. As you can see, I am dancing to it. Wow, that's horrible dancing. I played with Christian, who was the head of Danish Championship in Game Development. All of the multiplayer games we played with him. This was Debbie's Dramatic Diner, also one of the entries that I really loved. I just wanted to show you in the second video. This was the first time in one of the environmental games that we actually did virtual reality on this channel. I didn't think of that until I actually made this script for this rewind here. It was really fun. I mean, I sucked horribly at it, and I almost crashed the headset or smashed the headset in a wall at one point. Yeah, I think I did it there. Anyway, that was super cool, and it was all part of the Starcade Festival 2018. And why do I mention that? Well, because in my capacity as a YouTuber, I was also hired to do the live stream of Starcade Festival 2018. And what we did, we had a lot of Let's Play interviews like we had on this channel, and we played Night Out with Second Studio. We had some interview with Cinderfire and Galdor Studio about visual novels. We had board games with Iron Board Games and everything, and it was a super fun experience. Iron Maiden, which I think is called Iron Fury now. It was just an amazing experience overall, and we ended it on a high note with two of my childhood heroes. These two guys are from a Danish kids show, television show called Troldspejlet, which is basically the what the mirror is called in Snow White. And the TV show is like this from pop cultures and had a lot to do with video games, and it's just super awesome getting to interview my childhood heroes. That was amazing. I didn't need to tell you that. And of course, if you speak Danish and have an interest in the Danish game development scene, I urge you to go into Starcade Festival's YouTube channel. A link should be in the description, but there you can find all the live stream interviews that we did at that point. Okay, that was a little side note because that was actually not on my channel. Okay, next up is the No More Teasing channel update. When I finally pulled myself together and got over the fact that I have just spent 3 or 4 days, or maybe a week up to and including Starcade Festival, pretty much with no sleep. I was exhausted, and I waited a little bit until I actually published the next video, which was out on the 31st of August. This was the channel update. I just gotten my new computer. It was actually something we used in the Starcade Festival, and it was caused to say I get a new computer, I can produce better quality. I also announced my Discord server, which I haven't been great at posting on, especially not during this summer. But the most important thing about this video was that I announced the new schedule, that I would be doing both edited videos and live streams. And this is the first edited video of this schedule that I actually held. I held this schedule, and I'm very proud that I did, because I found a really nice balance. And even though the technical aspects of it were not up to speed, I guess you could say, because I didn't use green screen in the beginning, the videos I produced, I was very proud of them, and I was also very proud of the live streams that we did, even though it didn't really gain as much traction as I'd hoped, as much traffic to my YouTube channel. I got to edit a lot more during this schedule, and I got to play a lot more games and finishing them because of the live stream session that we held, it felt amazing. It just felt everything was just going great. Just not the numbers in order to keep going, which we'll get into much later. And that was pretty much the only thing that was missing. That was the viewership count. But you guys who saw it, I got great feedback from you, and it was amazing that you have been there from the beginning. BROWDSOWD, and it was the game Thy Sword. So as I mentioned, my living situation, I was living temporarily at another place because we got kicked out of our apartment. So the technical aspect, we didn't have a green screen, and the microphone was like standing somewhere far away from me, and everything was just not really great on that part, but we still did it, and I still made a good video out of it. I remember this because it's one of my best executed jokes that I've done like all year, and the joke was BROWDSOWD. And let's see if we can find it here. I mean, I remember just reading the word broadsword and just instantly jumping on the opportunity.
Starts with the broadsword.
I'll use my broadsword.
The Valkyrie.
The broadsword comes from a Hero Quest commercial from the 90s or maybe the 80s. I'm not sure. I mean, I know they redid the commercial so that the kid was actually saying broadsword instead of broadsword. I got the joke from Bardic Broadcast, which is probably one of my favorite videos ever made on YouTube. And it's why Hero Quest is so great, and he just keeps on going. The best thing about Hero Quest is the miniatures, is the furniture, is the board, is the... I don't know, it just really speaks to me because he's so funny and awkward, and at the same time not awkward. I love it. He says the BROWDSOWD somewhere here, I think.
Kidding, he throws 3 combat dice on attack by default. Not even the gargoyle can stand up to that. And that's without needing to get the BROWDSOWD.
The BROWDSOWD. But anyway, this is not a Bardic Broadcast Rewind, it is itsDair Rewind. And that leads us to the 6th of September 2018. Or actually, technically, it leads us to the 5th of September 2018. But that was on Twitch because it was the first live stream of the new schedule. And that was with Forgotton Anne, which has just come out at that point. I had interviewed Morten and Valdemar from Throughline Games. They were the writer and level designer of Forgotton Anne, respectively. And I've interviewed them at Starcade Festival, where we talked about the game, and I played like the first 40 minutes or something like that. And Forgotton Anne, if we just go into it, the Forgotton Anne is an incredibly looking game. It's anime, and everything is hand-drawn. Like, all the animations and everything is hand-drawn. And it looks like something from an, what's it called? Studio Ghibli movie. And it's just, I can't believe how beautiful this game is. And also, it has a great story. I mean, I like the puzzles mostly, but Anne, the main character, her movement is very clunky and awkward. So that was a little minus of the whole thing, especially because there's a lot of jumping puzzles, and yeah, when you have clunky movement and jumping puzzles, that's not always so great. But it was really, really a beautiful game, and it was a story that was super good and emotional and interesting. So if you haven't seen or tried Forgotton Anne, I strongly urge you to go and do that. Of course, all of the games that we're going through today, I strongly urge you to go and play them yourselves. This means that we are going forward to the 11th of September, where I Like Train Scout. Conductor Looks, the first out of 2 videos I made of that game. And the reason that I did this video is, it's kind of a funny scenario, because it's a mobile video that got ported to Steam, to PC on Steam, and I just got a key from the developer through Keymailer, and I thought, why not try it? And it's not like I had a specific idea as to what I wanted to do with the video or anything, other than I think it was probably one of the funniest videos that I made last year. And it was just the reason that I'm taking it into this rewind is because I was very surprised by how fun it was. I actually kind of played it a little bit obsessively after this video as well, and I don't do that very often. I mean, if we don't finish the game on the channel, I usually don't play much of the games afterwards. I usually play stuff like Heroes of the Storm, or Overwatch, or Counter-Strike, or, you know, not indie games. Well, Hollow Knight I played as well. But I did play this pretty obsessively, and I even downloaded it for my phone, and I don't play a lot of mobile games. But I was very, very pleased with the video. I think it turned out to be really funny, and it also got a great response. I mean, it's at 905 views at the moment, and I don't know why it's at 1 dislike. Oh, why do you dislike my video, you random person? Anyway, I think it was really weird because it actually, by complete coincidence, this video coincided with Northplay, the developer's second title for a mobile game called Fly This, which is in the same style as Conduct This, but instead with planes. And people started searching a lot for Conduct This, or Conductor Looks, which is called on PC, and it helped greatly. I mean, it was total coincidence, but it was really funny that it can things can go like that. And yeah, I spawned this interest in the game spawned a second video where I tried some community tracks, which were also really fun. But it wasn't until much later that we did take a look at that. Okay, we're moving on to Enter the Ninja from the Messenger live VOD. This was released on the 24th of September 2018, and The Messenger was probably my favorite game, or at least one of my favorite games of 2018. The Messenger was just such an amazing experience. I mean, it had a really special Ninja Gaiden from that I remember from Sega Master System 2 that me and my brother had when we were younger. And I mean, it was really just an ode to these classic Ninja Gaiden games. It excelled at almost everything. It had fast and really fun, tight combat. It was really difficult at times, but not too difficult so that I couldn't overcome the challenges. And it had great pixel aesthetics and a super awesome soundtrack. And then I'm just gonna go a little bit further. Oh, maybe it doesn't happen yet, actually. It had the most mind-blowing meta twist I have ever seen. Probably ever seen. No, not that I haven't seen mind-blowing meta twists. I mean, One Shot was pretty meta and had a pretty good twist there. But The Messenger had an amazing meta twist. So here, I'm not going to tell you what the meta twist is, but I am going to show you a little bit further here from the second live stream, second episode of the game, and just let it run from here. There was a mind-blowing meta twist, and it was super cool, and I loved The Messenger very, very dearly. They actually released a 3 DLC this summer called Picnic Panic, not too long ago, so I'm thinking that we need to play this once we get to it, because I'm accumulating a pretty long list of things we need to play. But as with Forgotton and all the other games, you should really, really try out The Messenger if you haven't already. It is so good. We are moving on to Mineralf, which I at the time thought was called Mineralf. Mineralf was a demo of a game that has actually just released, so maybe we need to revisit that as well. It's very much like, it's a high-speed physics-based puzzler. Very much like what's it called, Super Meat Boy, or it at least gives a Super Meat Boy vibe. That you have these levels and you have to get through them basically in as fast as you can. It encourages speed runs, and it's difficult but also really funny. And the reason that I have this in the itsDair Rewind is, well, one, I talked with the developers at Starcade Festival 2018, and it was really, really fun experience. But the best reason, the biggest reason why it's featured in this video, other than being a fun video, is because the guys at Chop Chop Games actually told me there was a secret ending to this demo, only to this demo, that I received, and they urged me to try and find it. So of course I did, and I think I did after actually completing the demo, which we do here, I believe. Yes, that was indeed the finish of the game. And so many deaths later, I think here I discover that, by complete accident, that there is a trench down here. And that was the secret ending, where they have the best pun ever. And I didn't know how to react.
Guys, that was amazing.
I just got so overwhelmed and happy that I didn't quite know how to react. That they actually made a version specifically for me.
That this version was specifically for me.
Wow, I actually just used the exact same phrase. But that was so good. They the guys at Chop Chop Games have just released Mineralf, so I urge you to go and pay for it, support them, and play the game, because it is super fun. You're probably not going to find this secret. I don't know if it's still in the final development of the game. I'm not sure, but it was also, I mean, if it was the best rock-based pun of 2018. Yes. So go and support the developers. Moving on to Return of the Oberdeen, which we aired on the 26th of October 2018, and it was the start of our journey for the second favorite game, or the second game contesting my favorite game of 2018. Return of the Oberdeen by Lucas Pope, who also made Papers, Please. Now, this was an amazing experience, totally different. Totally different from the Messenger, but very good experience. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I haven't recorded anything all summer, pretty much, so I really kind of need to get into the game. I hope you can forgive me for that. Anyway, Return of the Oberdeen is what I would call a true detective game. Oh, thanks, Tron. Is what I would call a true detective game. Because you have to, as an insurance agent, it doesn't sound very intriguing that you're an insurance agent, but you have to determine the fate of the entire crew of the Oberdeen, which has mysteriously drifted into London Harbour years after it was declared lost at sea. And you have to go through every memory of every body that you see, and then somehow determine what their name was and their occupation and how they died. And it was quite an exhilarating gameplay loop that, unfortunately, the worst part of it is that you can't really do it a second time, because you kind of already know what to look for when you do that. And that, I guess that's fine, but it's just quite sad that something so great can be so sad. That's quite weird. And it's something Lucas Pope is just a master of, this simple gameplay loop that is exhilarating, like in the Papers, Please, where you just have to, well, you have to determine the fate of people crossing the border. But yeah, Lucas Pope is just such an amazing developer. He's really good at embracing limitations, you know? He's making a game, he don't really know how to animate, so what does he do? Well, he makes a game where we have to... Let's just see if I can find it. Where we have to go into the memories of the crew. And in the memories, we're using this Death Watch. Let's just see it here. Oh, it's so cool. God damn it, I love this game so much. What's that music going on? The whole mystery. What was going on? Why was it lost at sea? Oberdeen. Here it is. Here's a memory. You can't animate? Well, you make a game where everything is frozen in time, so you don't have to animate. And it makes sense. And not only does it make sense in the game context, it looks freaking cool. So this was also the first time that I tried a new approach, which was edit the first episode of a series and then let's play it live afterwards on stream. And that was really... I enjoyed that approach, but I'm not entirely sure that it actually worked for a game like this, because it's not very fast-paced. So some of the cuts that I have later on are probably a little bit too snappy. So, and the jokes are not entirely appropriate to the game, maybe. But yeah, as I mentioned, the worst part of Return of the Oberdeen was that it can only be played once. Okay, now it's time to put on the rose-tinted goggles, as I know this channel is focused around indie games, but... And I love that, by the way, but I just had to make a video of this particular title because it is my favorite game of all time, World of Warcraft, more specifically World of Warcraft Classic, which launched later here in August, but I had the chance to be a part of the demo version as part of the BlizzCon virtual ticket of 2018, and I was very, very pleasantly surprised by the game. I always said it was much more fun than I anticipated, but I always said that the greatness of the older versions of World of Warcraft came from a sense of community, and that it was actually kind of garbage, both gameplay and story-wise. And I don't really care for Battle for Azeroth, which is the current expansion though, but that wasn't... It was still the case, but it was also very, very fun, because it just... I mean, it's the nostalgia factor, right? It just... Oh, it was just work walking around inside this old game again. And it was super hard as a little gnome warrior. I mean, we had 1 hour of gameplay. I played 1 hour for this video, which is 15 minutes long. And I only actually completed 2 quests in the game. But that's also something I liked with the old version here. It's that leveling... Even though it could be kind of tedious, it wasn't just something that you needed to get over with like it is today. Like, it's just means to get to the high-end content. It was a game in itself. It was an experience in itself. A great experience in itself. And it felt great every time you leveled up, because, like, I don't know how many of you have played World of Warcraft, but back then you gained a talent point in a cookie cutter talent tree. Like, it was pretty much predetermined where you had to set these talent points, but just the fact that you got a talent point every time you leveled up, it felt pretty good. And that's not something they have today. Actually, in the latest expansion, once you leveled up, you didn't get anything, which was just the worst feeling I have ever had in World of Warcraft. It was still really, really fun though, and the Warcraft Classic, World of Warcraft Classic, and I'm really looking forward to playing it once it actually goes live on the retail server. And of course, I'm going to be playing my little gnome warrior Evening Sun once again, just like I did when I was 15, 16 years old. Oh, it was so good. From a love of one game to the love of another, this title really is very, very dear to my heart, and it's called Amna, and it's dear to my heart because just look at it. Look how beautiful and amazing it is. It was something I found through Alpha Beta Gamer, a site I frequent a lot. But it was also, and I think it is, it was at least in the last year, but I think it was the first Kickstarter game or Kickstarter demo that we played on this channel ever. And Amna here really, really sparked a great interest in going through Kickstarter titles. Watching something, what do I need to look out for, especially later in as we got to Super Indie News. But this Amna is just so goddamn cool. I mean, even in the demo form, it just felt amazing walking around. It's a puzzle adventure game where you have a heavy emphasis on exploring. And it's just, look at it, it's full of atmosphere in this beautiful low poly world. Oh my god, I can't wait for the final game to come out. It has a very distinct Journey vibe, and I think it's because everything is like this quiet and mysterious, and it's such a, yeah, it's a mysterious and cool world that you just, I wanna explore more of this world. And if we just go up here, maybe so we can see some puzzles. Yeah, I think that's, we can talk from this point on. One of my favorite things about Amna here is the fact that the animations are really, really on point. I'm going to show you in just a little bit, but I think it's okay. Let me just say it's developed by Studio Inkyfox, which is a one-person team. So it's not really a team. It's just a single developer that is pouring his heart and soul into this. And oh my god, I can't wait for it. But look at the animations. They're just so smooth and boom, 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 boom. I think I maybe used that exact phrase when I actually played the game. That exact boom, boom, boom. But it's just, it feels so good. Everything you do in this game feels great. Later on, we get to do this great big dash, and it just, I think we do it here. this, they slow time down, and then look at me, I'm actually doing the same. Oh my god, it's been a while since I've seen this video, okay? So it's pretty funny to see that it was actually my own reaction at that point as well. Anyway, it was just amazing walking around and exploring, and especially here in the end, gliding on the sand dunes. I could just have done that forever. Oh my god. I can't wait to Amna to get out.
I'm just gonna sit here for a while.
Yeah. Next video! From something very cute and mysterious and atmospheric to something not very cute, not very mysterious, and very, very weird. Very weird. Human rocket person in hashtag say no to pogo sticks. Oh, Human Rocket Person was one of the many really weird games that we played in the past year. Others being Mother Simulator and Attack of the Evil Poop. But yeah, you had to go through these super crazy levels on the most stupid mode of transportation ever. And it was so difficult. And of course you can, I don't know why I say of course, but you can get momentum by pooping. It was developed by Second Studio, which I met at Starcade 2018. The reason that I want to show you guys this video is because it had one of my favorite edited sequences last year, and it's this. We did it to a classical music piece, and it showed most of my deaths in a level, and I still love it. Need to find it so we can show it to you. Here it is. Just sit back and enjoy. Great classical music.
Oh, Sonic, no, Sonic. Oh no, Sonic, no, Sonic!
Come on, indeed. And yeah, 44 deaths that were not shown before I actually did that level. I remember saying that I wanted to finish it, Human Rocket Person, but I don't. I think I might have to back down on that promise. I mean, some Shadow Core games like this, which is very much inspired by Getting Over It and QWERTY, or what it was called, the other one by Ben Foddy. I mean, there's gotta be a certain interest in the game, and it's just not really there. So I don't think I'll be playing any more of Human Rocket Person. But I did make a couple of videos, and I did think it was really fun to make them, and I hope you did too. And that's about all we're going to say about this one. This brings us to the next game. It's on the 22nd of December. Hades just came out, and I jumped straight onto that boat following that development, because Supergiant Games is one of my, as I just said there, is one of my all-time favorite developers, because they made Bastion one of my all-time favorite games. So what is Hades? Well, Hades is the story of Zagreus, the Prince of Darkness, who doesn't want to live in the underworld anymore and needs to get out. And it's a roguelike. And it's a very cool roguelike. It's like this exciting dungeon crawler roguelike action game, and with really tight controls and great aesthetics and atmosphere and humor. And the humor is probably what I love the most, because what I love the most about the game is the universe that Supergiant has managed to create. using a very, very familiar Greek mythology. So you got everything, everyone in this game is just like, even though they're Greek gods, they still have family issues, normal family issues. Like Zagreus is mad at his dad and his is this rebellious teenage son. Hades isn't really the best father ever. He goes, he sets his job very, very high. He doesn't talk to anyone else in the family. Later on, Zeus is telling Zagreus that Hades doesn't return his calls anymore, and he's super sad about it. And I mean, this dynamic is just, it's so well thought out. It's so simple, but it's just so well thought out. And I really, really, really enjoy following Hades in the development. I think it's the only game that we have followed from the get-go and all throughout the development, at least so far. And it's so cool to see it evolve over time. And actually, the game just updated like a week or two ago with the Big Bad update, which is the last biome of the game, and so Zagreus can actually get out of hell, or the underworld now. So we need to do that, and we need to do it sometime in the very near future, but of course we also first need to kill Theseus and get out of Elysium, which we haven't quite done yet. And in 2018, you guys shouldn't be cheated of Christmas-themed games. I know I didn't make a actual Christmas calendar like we did the year before, the year prior, or maybe that was 2017. Well, 2017 is the year prior, because this is on Christmas Eve, the 24th of December, 2018. And it was Set the Guests on Fire, 3 weird Christmas games. This was the first video of a new format where I compiled 3 small games into one video, and it was awesome. I mean, we in this video here, we tumbled with horses in equine escapades. We shot evil snowmen as Santa in Santa Gets a Shotgun. And finally, we wrecked the party in the video game of the same name as a fruitcake. The dreaded fruitcake, which apparently nobody wants at American Christmas party. I think it's American Christmas parties. Anyway, as I mentioned, this was the new format that was born, 3 weird games, and I did one other installment, which was the 3 weird crab games, which is one of my favorite videos from 2019. I want to do more of this. I don't know why I'm not doing more of this. I guess I was just sort of overwhelmed with everything else and having trouble focusing on what works and what doesn't, and developing new things and all that. But it was cool. It was a cool format. I really enjoy doing this type of video because I enjoy going into games sites like itch.io and Game Jolt and so on, and finding these small weird games and have a good laugh. And I think most of these games are really Garant for that. I know it's called Garant. It's called Garant in Danish. I hope I get to do more of that in the coming times. Okay, let's jump to the 12th of January 2019, where this only slightly late 2018 montage got out, and I was proud of that. It was much better than the 2017 montage, because that one came out in June 2018, and this one only got out 2 weeks after 2018 had stopped. So I count that as a win. I remember saying, as I was so late with 2017, that I wanted to make like if I made a video and I know that's a funny clip in it, I would take that clip out and put it into a folder and then use that as a as the next montage. But I never actually did that, and so when I actually finished the 2018 montage somewhat on time, I was proud. I was also proud of the video. I think there was some really funny moments that we had during the course of 2018. And it's weird when I'm sitting here now. A lot of the videos that I'm covering now in Rewind were actually also a lot of the videos that were in the funny montage. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, this is also the first montage where we actually both had VODs and regular edited videos or moments from those videos in. And I thought that was kind of cool, and I thought that it needed to be in Rewind because of this. Jumping to the 4th of February of 2019, it is probably the biggest thing that I came up with in the past year. It's Super Indie News! The new show about indie games and the stuff that goes on in that world. I am, and I was and am so proud of these videos because I really feel like I found something very, very special with these. I think I found the niche, something niche that not a lot of other persons are doing, but it still fits my channel. I mean, there's a lot of other people doing Let's Plays, and the niche there is indie games, but there's still a lot of people doing those. But a new show about indie games, I feel like that's sort of mine. And that's why I was so proud of these videos. And of course it was the news and the new releases within a 2-week time span. So it wasn't what's coming in the next 2 weeks, it was actually was released in these previous weeks. And I spent a lot of time making these videos, and it was probably one of the reasons that I stopped doing them once I unfortunately realized that I had to dial down. I couldn't keep up the pace of my YouTube channel, because the process was that I had to find news, I had to go through new releases and find something that's actually worth mentioning, and then I had to make a script, which was something I wasn't very used to, and then I had to record it, and because it was scripted, the recording was awkward at times. Then I had to do the editing, and I edited in a way that that once we showed footage from a trailer, that footage matched what I was talking about. So it wasn't just, I didn't just smack a trailer into while I was talking over it. There was actually some context to it, and that worked wonders. But it was difficult and time-consuming to finding the right parts. But I kind of liked it that way. I liked making them. It wasn't because I didn't like making them, but it was just too time-consuming. And I kind of liked also that we progressed with each new Super Indie News. Like, you could see how the show evolved. That was super fun. I still like the idea of bringing it back to my channel. I haven't completely given up on the show, on the format. But I don't quite know how to do it in a less time-consuming manner at the moment. And maybe we should do it each month instead of every 2 weeks. Maybe that's something that can be done. And I'm also thinking of actually adding a section that is, hey, these are the new releases in the future. So we both have news, new releases within the past time span, and new releases going forward that you should look out for. I'm not gonna make any promises though, because right now I just sort of need to get into making videos again. It's super weird being where I am right now, trying to find the motivation. Not that I don't have the motivation, it's just that I kind of have a hard time just doing it. And I have a hard time just doing stuff at the moment, so I hope you can bear with me. Super Indie News, I hope will return sometime in the near future. Or in the future, just. Alright, there are 2 more videos to go, so please stick with me, guys, as we're jumping up to the 17th of April 2019, where I published my most emotional video to this date. And also, coincidentally, the most clickbaity video, because I actually tried to make an effort in the title and thumbnail to convey the emotion and the truth while also being a little bit more YouTuber-y. Like the thumbnail, is this the end, and me looking sad and everything. I mean, I know it's clickbaity, but it's also speaking the truth, you know. Mid-spring was the time that I could see that my finances were not amazing anymore, and unless I had some rapid and explosive growth on my YouTube channel that could edge me to keep going. But I didn't, and I decided then to call it quits while I still had some money left, and I didn't go down with a sinking ship. And then I decided to do YouTube as a hobby after this, and not doing editing and all that jazz, not going so much into the numbers and everything, just having fun with it. It was a horrible decision, I gotta say, because I've been trying so hard for the last 2.5 years, 3 years now, to actually make a living out of YouTube and fulfill my dream of becoming a full-time YouTuber. And I was a full-time YouTuber, with the asterisk that I had part-time jobs because I didn't have any income from YouTube. So I was doing full-time YouTube and part-time jobs. I think I've come a long way in terms of my content, and I think if I had the numbers, I actually truly believe that I would be successful. I know that maybe sound a little bit arrogant, but I like my energy in front of the camera, and I like my editing, I like my general content, and so on, everything about the channel. It's just the numbers that are not there, and that's sad to see. It feels like it's I tried so much stuff I tried so hard to do different things, you know, to create my own luck, but it just never happened. I never got the luck that was required, and that was sad. It's something that's still affecting me because I put a very, very lot of my identity into being a full-time YouTuber and living my dream and all that. And it's hard, guys. It's hard letting go of that dream. And I felt, as you can see, even now I'm feeling very emotional, and I felt very vulnerable talking to you about this, because I don't think I ever made a video like this. I know Markiplier, for instance, has... Everyone, PewDiePie, Jacksepticeye, have made videos where they talk about the stress and burnout and everything, feeling very emotional, but this was the first time that I did it. This was a whole new side of me that I showed you guys. And I'm glad that I did it, but it was difficult, man. I can't stress enough, though, that how happy I am with you guys, and you guys who are still here with me and has been with me for a long time. And you guys who enjoy my content, thank you so very much for being there. I hope I can start delivering some good content to you in the near future. It's weird thinking right now. I'm sitting here thinking about it, and it's so weird. I know that I got some personal issues that's been going on for this summer, but I was talking about how I wanted to do this on a hobby basis, and I almost haven't really done anything in the last month. I haven't been in front of the camera for like 2 months. As I mentioned earlier, I've recorded this before the dark gameplay that's going up before this video, so this is the first time in almost 2 months that I'm in front of the camera, and that's not a hobby, that's not anything, but I've just had a very, very hard time sitting, starting everything up and doing it. I hope that changes soon. Maybe it will with this game, with this video. Maybe it will with Dark. Who knows? I have a lot of stuff that I need to finish that is left dangling there. And with that segue, we are going to the very last video of this YouTube Rewind. Katana Zero gameplay number 1, the Dragon series, the Dragon Hungers. It was the last... It's going to be the last video of this year's Rewind. Sorry, I'm just looking at the script here beside me and read the word last. It was a game, the very first game that followed after I took my YouTube status from full-time to hobby. And it was the first game in a long time that was unedited. So it was basically just recording, thrown up, done. It was weird. It was a weird feeling. Katana Zero, as it is a super, super cool platformer, indie platformer. Very, very violent about this samurai here, ninja samurai, I don't quite remember. Beautiful pixelated graphics, super cool gameplay, difficult, awesome, interesting story, where we walk around in almost a Breaking Bad-esque environment, like the lowest of the lowest white trash environment, and that's horrible, but Katana Zero made it cool. as well. And as I mentioned, the release of Katana Zero coincided with my change of pace as a YouTuber, but it also signified another approach that I haven't, because I had put so much thought into my videos, making them, editing them, and making them cool and interesting for you guys. This time, however, I took the time, but I actually was much more focused on the timing. Like, Katana Zero got released, and then I had to be one of the first with the video. And I uploaded 2 videos on the same day for a little extra content, which was also new for me. And what can I say? Timing matters. I mean, okay, even the first one here is 141 views, which is good in itself, according to my standards. But if we take a look at the Katana Zero here, here's the Dragon Hungers, the first one. Look at this. This second installment of the video got 2,500 views, or has 2,500 views. And the third one has 3,000 views. And within the first day or two, they had like 1,500 views. It was weird. I mean, if we go into this one, I kind of know why, because this was very much because of the title, and it's also why a lot of people, like almost a third of people, disliked it, because Katana Zero prison level stealth fail. There's a Katana Zero, there's a prison level in Katana Zero that you can do all stealth, and if you take this search term, my video is the first, even though I don't actually stealth it, I fail in stealthing it, so that got people kind of mad about it. But it was so bittersweet doing this, because I was glad that I was finally seeing some success, but it was after I took the decision of not doing YouTube seriously anymore, and it was after I didn't spend a lot of time on this video. I just recorded it and ran it through the editing software to do the green screen and all that, and just uploaded it. And even all of the other Katana Zeros are pretty successful, like in accordance to some of the edited videos that I did. Like Dead Cells is only 18 views, and this Forager here is 25 views. And I mean, what's going on? Suddenly, after deciding I wasn't going to be a full-time YouTuber anymore, I get the success that I wanted all along, just by timing. That was so bittersweet. Like, it immediately got me thinking, should I have done that from the beginning? Have I wasted my time within the last year doing these edited videos that I spent 2-3 days on? Probably. I can say now, looking back, I probably should have just done that. I mean, focus on indie games, and then being one of the first ones they released, and just not caring about quality. I'm still proud of my work. I mean, it doesn't take the fact away that I'm proud of the edited video, and I'm proud of these that's not edited as well. And so I'm coming to terms with it more or less slowly. It's a weird feeling to have. And it's also a weird feeling to know that I never finished the Dragon series. I think I have 1 episode left that I didn't record. I think I'm on Judgment Day, it's called. The 10th day. And I'm not sure why I kind of didn't. Well, I know it coincided with all my personal problems, and this summer has been a downer for me. But it's definitely on my to-do list, and that's what I will end this Rewind series with, by saying I will get back on the horse. I'm now doing videos once again. You will see more from me, and we got a lot to do. I got a long to-do list. We got the Dragon's Katana Zero, we got Hades, we got Ashen, and I really want to see what's going on in Forager as well. And I guess we're not finished with Dark as this video gets up, so we need to do that as well. So there's a lot on our to-do list, and I hope you guys will be here with me through it all and all of the new cool indie games that's going to release. And yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, this rewind video. That is only a little bit late. Okay, it's a lot late, but it's here, the rewind. And I just want to end by saying thank you once again. Thank you guys for being with me through the last year. It's been some hard times, been some good times, been some weird times, some mixed feelings about everything. But I am still here. And I hope you guys are as well. And I will see you in the next video. Over and out.